As you know, reptiles love their heat, and it's very important for them. But something you might not know is that they don't really like it dry. And we've been having an incredible heat wave in Canada recently. So one of my favorite things to do in this situation is to give him a good soak. So that's what we're gonna do today. Cue the intro. Okay, so we're pretty good with our water level for our first animal, and we set the water really high because our first animal that we're gonna soak is our boy Cherry here. Cherry is an Argentine red tegu. It's a male, even though in the beginning we thought it was a female. So as you can see here, Cherry is shedding, so this part he already did the whole thing, but he still has this body suit going from here to about here, and you can see the line here with this is lifted already. So he's gonna benefit from having a good old soak, and I know you guys will see he's covered in dirt because he lives in dirt. They love the mud. So Cherry, that is a bath. I know you love baths. Yeah. You swimming? You wanna swim, baby? You wanna have a good soak? Look at him floating. So soaking your reptiles is really important for helping them with shedding, especially if you're having a really dry time in your area or whatever, especially then. It's crucial that you supplement misting. It's not just misting that will do the job, guys. But a full body soak, like here, you guys can see he's almost fully submerged in it. He could fully submerge in it if he felt like it, right? Just like this, he can fully submerge. They are highly aquatic lizards. In the Amazon rainforest where they come from, they are actually really aquatic, like they'll spend most of the time in the water hunting their prey. And as you can see by what he's doing right now, they will actually sleep on top of the water just like this, and they'll just keep their snout out. Now Cherry isn't the most muscular or athletic lizard. He actually is kind of out of shape, but that is actually another good thing about these baths, is that it gives a great opportunity for them to grow some muscle and do some exercise. Now look at him, he's doing fantastic. Right, boy? You like the baths? Yeah. Yeah. Good swim. Good swim, boy. Good swim. Oh, you're gonna wet all of my uniform. Do you want to get out? Is that what you're saying to me right now? You want to get out? Okay, well, maybe you can go in just a little bit more because we do need to get that stuck shed off of you. Yeah, you can see the power that he can generate with his tail. It's absolutely incredible. It's kind of like a big fish when you think about it, because that tail is acting like a rudder, right? And he's just able to throw a lot of water every direction he wants. So, are you done? Is that what you want? You're done? Okay, but what we'll do is we'll dry him, which is the funnest part, and then we'll put him back in his enclosure because he loves it. Of course, he doesn't love it as much as he's gonna love his brand new enclosure that we were building. And that still hasn't really moved in terms of progress, but it will very soon. All we have to do now is to scape the inside of the boxes and to order the glass. And what I need to go do now is get a towel. And now I'm back with the towel, but as you can see, the bath has actually done some really good stuff for the hand right here. He'll be able to shed all of that now, and it wasn't really lifting before, so as you can see, it helps a lot. We're just gonna be really careful around those digits because you don't want to hurt the guy, right? And we're just helping this little guy get rid of this glove. And underneath you see is exposed all of the brand new color, which is amazing compared to the old one. Like, look at the difference in tone, right? It's absolutely red as can be, which is why we call them Cherry. You know, it's actually not his name from before we got him. I think his name was
Rosie.
Rosie, yeah.
Because they thought it was a girl.
Yeah, so it was Rosie, the female tegu, and not Cherry, the tegu, as you guys all know him. I only got one finger left, Cherry. I'm sorry, it's taking time, but it'll be worth it. Now, please give me your hand. There you go. That's all done. All right, you know the drill, Cherry. Go on the towel. Not there.
Well, he wants to go inside.
Yeah, but there's no inside yet. We need to make the inside, Cherry. We need to do this, and then close it. There you go, tegu burrito. You guys will have seen it only here first, guys. Mystic Animals exclusive tegu burrito. You guys cannot believe the content that we have here on this channel. And of course, you massage the burrito nicely so that, you know, it feels loved. And you make sure that you get the water out of all the crevices because there's a lot. As you can see, he wrinkles. And only once he's dry can he go back in his enclosure. And I want to make sure he looks just about as dry as can be. No water on this guy whatsoever. Are you ready to go back home? I think you are. You're a pretty boy. All right, so let's go bring him back home right now. And as I said, you guys, this enclosure will be going to somebody else. A little surprise. I don't want to say who yet, but it will be an upgrade, quite a sizable upgrade. And this guy will be going in something like this. So that's a lot of room for a lizard that's this long plus the tail. But anyway, this is what will segue us into our next animal. And it is not a lizard, but it is the animal that will be living right next to Cherry in his new enclosure. And that is, of course, our newest pet here at Mystic Animals, CutiePie, the cherry head tortoise. And not Shadow, which just jumped the gate and went in the room. Shadow.
Hi, Shadow.
You're our oldest pet. What do you think about our newest pet? If you put her right next to you, he doesn't seem very bothered by it, to be fully fair with you. So I think we'll let him here. He doesn't really bother anything, but I'll patch up that hole. And it goes without saying that she does have a water bowl that's big enough for her to fully submerge in, but not necessarily to walk around in and, you know, explore and at least get some muscles threading through the water and stuff like that. And you'll notice as I'm splashing her around that she is absolutely gorgeous. Now, we very much believe that she's a marble cherry head, which is a side locality of cherry head tortoises. And some of them get incredibly white, and it is a thing that we're gonna explore, I'm not gonna say more, in the very near future. So, let me tell you some facts about this awesome tortoise. She is 13 years old, and her previous owner had her for 6 years, did a fantastic job with her because look at that, zero pyramiding on this shell at all. It is smooth as can be. And this tortoise is a very special piece of Mystic Animals because she's actually our education tortoise for the birthday parties and the educational program. So CutiePie has already done a couple of birthday parties and events with us, and she's done fantastically so far. It's actually pretty remarkable because you'll see from her nature, she's a bit shy of a tortoise. Like if I go a little too far forward, she'll poke that head back in, right? She doesn't really want me to touch the head or anything, but she is still pretty new. We've only had her for like, what, a month and a half, 2 maximum, something like that. But already she is comfortable enough to let me touch her little feet in the back right here. She eats from our hands when we feed her little things like apples and stuff like that, especially the things that she really wants. She also really likes the scratches on her shell. I don't know if she'll do it right now, but she likes rubbing against it and like actually putting some strength like this. Yeah, she's pushing her side into my hand in order to get more or bigger or stronger scratches, I should say, right? So she's actively pushing those muscles straight into my hand, and she'll switch if I switch sides, right? So she really wants it. And she likes those scratches. She also really loves getting scratched with a toothbrush of all things. Well, this is a toothbrush just for her. It's not like we clean our teeth with that, right? But she really does enjoy it, and she rubs up against it and all that stuff. And I would imagine that it feels very good for her to get all those bristles nicely in the layers in between and all that stuff. She really seems like she's enjoying it. She's wobbling all over the place, fully happy tortoise. And you know, it's something to cross off your bucket list. I toothbrushed a tortoise, right? But we're just gonna let her do her thing for a little bit in the bath, and we will get back to you right after I tell you about the Discord server. Now, the Discord server is a place where you can interact with all the community. There's tons of channels, including questions of the day, and a place to share all your reptile memes. And it's all free, first link in the description, all the time. Welcome back, and now for this next animal, we are gonna kick Shadow out. Unfortunately, Shadow, I love you, you're a good cat, but you can't be in here. And that might give you all a clue of what this next animal is, but what you've never seen is this animal fully swimming at that size. Actually, the first video on Mystic Animals that actually did fairly well was called Risking My Safety for Content, and basically it was us taking this 1.5 foot long Nile monitor and tossing it into a big bin and then just closing the lid for a bit and letting him, you know, acclimate before boldly deciding to put our hands in there and actually try to tame him out. And now you'll be able to see the fruits of that labor and of all of that video basically through this next segment where we will be taking Kyle, the Nile monitor, for a bath. For those who are wondering, Kyle is a West African Nile monitor, Varanus niloticus stellatus, which is not an ornate monitor that people think that he is all the time. But you'll be able to see he has a blue tongue, right? Look at that, that's blue, right? Unless I'm crazy, but that's blue, right? Anyway, moving on, Kyle is a 3-year-old Nile monitor, and basically he has been hand raised from 8 months of age by us here at Mystic Animals, and he's undergone some pretty intense behavioral training in order to get him this good, because at the beginning, boy was not very nice. He would whip us in the face every time we'd open the enclosure, and it was pretty terrible to work with, honestly. But now, as you can see, I can have him in my hand, I can pet him, I can, I can do pretty much anything I want with him because he's really used to all of that stuff because we wanted to go overboard with the training so that nothing bothers him, right? Now, it goes without saying, he is still a monitor, so he's got like the agility and all that stuff, and he'll be able to leap. Like right now, he's trying to leap on his enclosure, right? And if he does, it's very hard to stop him, to be honest, because all the weight kicks your arm back. It's a strong animal. So we're gonna take him for a bath, which might be a terrible idea, but it's the next step in behavioral training, right? Because if we can leave him alone in the bath, theoretically we can leave him alone wandering in the room. That's my idea. That's the next key that I'm trying with his training, right? Now the last step of his training was actually throat touches and pets. That calms him down a great lot, right? And now he doesn't mind being touched pretty much anywhere near his face. He is still trying to jump on that enclosure. I'm telling you guys, he will not stop.
Yeah, he's really curious.
Yeah,
he wants to go
probably
everywhere.
one of the most curious animals that we have here, to be fair. And what he really wants, to be fair, is to jump and climb on the areas of his cage that he doesn't have access to, like the top and the back. He also seemed very interested by the top of the shelf, right? Every time he sees it, he's like, I'm gonna go up there. And I'm like, I don't want you to go up there at all. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get him in the bathroom, because in the bathroom, he actually doesn't have an escape. It is a seamless room, so there's no crack, no nothing. I mean, there's behind the toilet, which would be kind of not nice, but still. And he seems to tolerate the bathtub pretty well, just as long as there is no water in it, right? He seems to be doing pretty well.
It's okay, bud.
Right, it's okay. Okay, bud. It's okay, bud. It's okay. Okay.
Oh, pee-pee.
Oh, that's normal. It's okay, it's normal. You know what we could do because you did a pee-pee? It's okay. It's okay that you did a pee-pee, but we could put some water. Yeah. Yeah, the water shouldn't freak you out. Well, you like the water in your enclosure.
Oh,
You love it.
What's up, Kyle?
All right.
You're not sure?
So we're gonna start by spraying him. Whoop.
He wants to go up your arm.
Aw, baby, you really don't like the water in the tub for some reason. He has such a good time in his enclosure bathing. Like, he'll sleep in the water most of the time. So I really don't understand why the water outside his enclosure freaks him out so much, right? So I'm just trying to spray him, get him wet, get him to understand that nothing's happening. It's just a bit of water, baby. It's just a bit of water. Yeah. You can see that tongue flicking, right? He's processing. Well, see, climbing might be his thing, right? So I'm gonna stop it with the water for now, right? Because he's experienced being wet in the tub, right? And he didn't really freak out, but he didn't love it, right? You can clearly see that he's a little freaked out and trying to figure out what's happening, but we don't want that to be the impression that he has left. So we're gonna keep him out for a little bit, and we're gonna keep handling him, which is something that he's very used to. And he's gonna be able to see that everything is back to normal, right? With the little throat touches, right? Yes. A lot of new stuff. You're a good monitor. Yeah, right?
Hello, pretty.
The water in the tub freaks you out, right? As you can see, no longer freaking out. You can see the tongue is going, but it's not going so fast that he's freaked out, right? He's inquisitive right now. He's looking around, right? No longer freaked out by what just happened, and that's what needs to happen in order for him to learn that this experience was not a negative thing. Now forgive me, I'm dripping, he splashed me all over, but both me and Kyle really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to hit that like button and that subscribe button, because it really helps us out, and it helps him out, because the bigger that we are, the more people know about him and Nile monitors and how nice they can be, and the less people are afraid of them. Yeah, that's right, boy. You're an example for your species, right? I already talked about the Discord, so I'm not going to bore you guys again, but if you want to join that, that would be fun, because it is fun. Anyway, my name is Matt Zephyr, that is Kyle, and Roxanne's behind the camera.
Hello.
And we will see you in the next video. Peace! Thank you so much for checking out this video, everybody. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button, and if you really loved it, why don't you subscribe? It's free, you know?